What's going on, everybody? Brad here, back again for another Let's Talk Jurassic. I'm excited. It's Wednesday night, and we're here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I feel like my screen is like a little saturated. I got to figure that out at some point. But I just want to say thank you for stopping by. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to all those returning viewers out there. I know we might have some new viewers depending on where you're watching from. I felt like I decided to stop streaming over to Twitch. I felt like we weren't really doing much over there. So instead, I opened it up to our Twitter audience, and I know our Twitter follower count or whatever is much higher than Twitch. So I figured let's shop it out over there, see what people think. And if you're watching on Twitter, let us know. Can you? I have no idea. How does that work? I haven't watched a Twitter live thing in a long time. Anyway, glad to be over on Twitter. So hello to all the new viewers and, of course, all the lurkers out there. I'm one of you. So thank you so much for joining us. If you're new Typically, what we do is we talk about all the latest Jurassic news, all the information that's out there for this week. We'll answer questions, talk about whatever you want to talk about for Jurassic. So let's see. What is on the docket for today? So as far as I can tell, unless you guys come up with some fun new topics, we're going to be talking about the Jurassic World Evolution 2 developer diary thing. We're going to talk about that and all the information that was in there. We'll talk a little bit about Camp Cretaceous hitting 1 year. That'll be fun. And I have some new arrivals here that I'll talk about from Mattel. So we'll bring that up as well. But like I said, if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, throw it out there and we'll see what we can do. But I do want to go back to the podcast. So if you're only a viewer here on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, you got to go check out the podcast, because this week we actually had something pretty fun. We had 2 segments in there. The first one, which was it was Dakota Morgan talking about all the he talks about the animatronics of the franchise in this segment, The Hatchery, and this week he talked about the Dilophosaurus. That was really cool. So definitely go check out his information about the Dilophosaurus. The Dilophosaurus animatronic. That was pretty good. It's just such a cool creation. You know, that thing, it's like a dinosaur that is real, but not in the way that we see it in those it's only in the one movie, unfortunately. But it's not the way that you see it in that movie. A lot of that was added after the fact just to make it a lot cooler. And he breaks down the entire animatronic there, so make sure to check that out. And then we also had Caleb Burnett talking about Chasing the Dragons, which is a great track from Jurassic World. He's been going film by film in his segment, Jurassic Tracks. So he finally made it up to Jurassic World. And then next month, he's got a nice little creepy segment going on for Halloween. So just in time for Halloween. So check out Jurassic Tracks this week, along with The Hatchery. And that's the episode. I also did over on YouTube a toy hunt this week, so please go check out that. And then actually today, surprise to me, Tom Jurassic pops up an article on the website. So go to JurassicParkPodcast.com and you can find a brand new article about Jurassic Park San Diego, the dinosaurs in the wild, and hybrids from Jurassic World Evolution 2. So please go check that out on our website. But I want to see who's here. There's over 100 comments already. What's going on? What's happening? Let's see who's here. I got to show this. I think this was from like days ago. It just says, "Hi, Brooklanders." Also, I'm under the weather, so if I go off the rails or if I start coughing or, sneezing or whatever, sniffling, I apologize. I'm under the weather. Let's see who else we got here. We've got Erased Gaming. Hi, y'all. Spencer's here. Hey. Yes, if you weren't here last week, the group conned me by using the super chat feature over on YouTube to dress up as Mr. DNA. So I will be dressing up as Mr. DNA for Halloween. Whatever Wednesday night is just before Halloween. And hilariously enough, after that live stream last week, I did a live stream with the Forcecast, which I do. I do that every other week. I'm sorry. So I'm trying to make this not as saturated. I can make it real saturated, or, well, that's way too saturated. Or less saturated. So I did a Forcecast live stream as well, and Ryan had said, "All right, you guys, we're going to dress up on the live stream the Thursday before Halloween." And I'm like, "All right, that's great. That's 2 days in a row. I got to dress up as something on a live stream." So yeah, we got Jurassic Souls here. What's going on? Jurassic fan is back. Jared's here. Siaka, I'm not going to be able to shout out everybody here because there's so much going on. Taylor's here. Hey, Taylor. Oh, look at that. speaking of Twitter rules, Forcecast, there it is. Yeah, I'm actually, I don't know how it works because I thought Periscope was dead, but I don't understand it. So I was like, all right, let me just stream it over to Twitter because there's a good follower base over there. So I wanted to, get it out to the most wide audience there. So let's see. All right, so I think, all right. Oh, don't want to miss this. Shout out to Jurassic Souls. Thank you so much for the super chat. Always appreciated. Costume's gonna be great. And Jurassic Soul says, with Jurassic Park San Diego being the Lost World Chaos Theory mode, what do you think will be the scenario for Jurassic Park 3? That's a good question. So Chaos Theory mode is basically a mode in Jurassic World Evolution 2 where they put you in the different films, the 5 films so far, and they give you a scenario that's like a what if. That's how they're saying it. What if? It's a very, very common thing right now with Marvel and now Jurassic. We've got our own what if scenarios. So that's pretty cool. But what will be the what if for Jurassic Park 3? I don't know. So let me go back to the beginning. So Jurassic Park, I'm going to assume the Jurassic Park is just like an operating Jurassic Park, since we never really got an operating Jurassic Park. The Lost World, like you said, is the San Diego sequence. So it's like, hey, let's make San Diego an operating park. Skipping over to Jurassic World, we did see some stuff with the Indominus. So I'm assuming it's like, hey, your park is operating fine. The Indominus never broke out. Here's what your scenario is. Fallen Kingdom, that's an interesting one. So maybe it's like, I want to say Sanctuary, but like that was a whole DLC. Sanctuary, like the Sanctuary Island thing. So like that's not very interesting as far as a what if scenario because they already basically had that. I don't know. I don't know what the Fallen Kingdom scenario would be. I like this idea in my head of like, hey, we're not going to move the dinosaurs from Nublar, but there's going to be lava all over the place, and you got to make a park around this lava all over the island, and you just basically have paddocks and like lava pouring down all over the place. I don't know. That's not legit, like realistic, but it would be fun. JP3 though, like, what is the scenario? There's not like, I guess the scenario is like Sorna is officially, it's operating fine. There was no hurricane that took out Sorna. So now that we've got the flyers and stuff like that, I think that'll be a fun scenario. It's like, hopefully they'll mock up a realistic version of like the aviary and stuff like that built onto a cliffside and stuff like that, where maybe now you've got the maybe what would be really cool is if they kind of weave in some of those thoughts about the Spinosaurus being some of the first testing for hybrid dinosaurs, and they kind of they ask you to build a Spinosaur that's like a little off the books and a little, different and exaggerated. So I think that could be a cool way to kind of not confirm anything, but just like, at least in a game, confirm our suspicions that this thing is a hybrid of some sorts or something like that. But something along the lines with the Spinosaurus and the Pteranodons. Also, maybe, I don't know, I would like some skins for the Raptors. I don't think we ever got anything for those. I'll be honest, I didn't play all the DLC for the other one, but to get skins for the Raptors for that island would be really, really cool. So hopefully that answers your question there. But thank you, Jurassic Souls. Awesome as always. But reading your comments here. Yeah, Forcecast Live was great last week. Definitely tune into that. Is it still up after I played music on there? Did that actually stay up on the feed? It was such a mess. It was such a mess. All right, so let's get into our main topic here for today. Jurassic World Evolution 2. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually just play. It's a lengthy little clip here, but it should be okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna play Let me add it to the stream. Oh yeah, I meant to showcase the article before. This is Tom's article. There it is. Check it out. But I'm gonna play the Evolution 2 development diary here for this week. So let me take down our music and go ahead and press play here. Put the headphones on.
Hi, I'm Rich Newbold. I'm the game director on Jurassic World Evolution 2, and we're here to talk to you about our most captivating and authentic Jurassic World experience yet. Many of us on the game team have grown up with the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies in our lives. As a child, I watched Jurassic Park in the cinema and I fell in love with the dinosaurs on the screen. And then as an adult watching Jurassic World, it was so exciting. This is a great opportunity for us to be part of that franchise and work alongside Universal and build upon the universe that they've created in the films, but allow us to use those iconic characters and dinosaurs and craft our own narrative for players to enjoy.
To us, the Jurassic World franchise is about capturing that sense of awe and wonder when you see a dinosaur for the first time. And I think that's something really magical about this franchise that we really wanted to bring to Jurassic World Evolution 2. Hi, my name is James Stant, and I'm the dialogue manager on Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Hey, James.
In this dev diary, we're going to show you how we're bringing our authentic experience in two of our game modes, Campaign and Chaos Theory. We're really excited to show you what you can expect.
Both the Campaign and the Chaos Theory mode are set in the Jurassic World universe.
Jurassic World Evolution 2's campaign mode is set in the aftermath of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The dinosaurs are no longer confined to Isla Nublar and are now wild across the United States of America. That freedom is now creating dangerous situations that the player is going to have to handle. I'm Dan Davies. I'm a principal designer on Jurassic World Evolution 2.
The player is recruited by the government agency who are responsible for tracking down these dinosaurs and safely capturing them. And it's not just about the safety of the people, it's about the safety of the dinosaurs too.
I like this a lot because, you know, after all the poaching conversations we had, you know, they're focusing right now on the safety of the dinosaurs, capturing them from the wild. And, you know, the player and Claire and her crew are working together to do this with the Fish and Wildlife Department. So that's pretty cool.
The player will be in charge of this initiative, working for the Department of Fish and Wildlife as they work alongside iconic franchise characters.
We're bringing back characters that players are going to recognize from the Jurassic World movies. Claire Dearing and Owen Grady have been hired for their expertise in dealing with dinosaurs in these kinds of situations. They're going to accompany you as you travel around the United States, capturing and containing the dinosaurs now out in the wild.
We are so excited to be bringing back some of our own characters. We have Dr. Kajal.
I'll pause it for a second there because I do like. And this has been a big question for me. And I'll be honest, I have not checked out a lot of the gameplays and stuff like that have been happening so far. And I haven't really been staying close to the information outside of what we see from the species guides and these development diaries. But to know that, you know, this game is going to be different than the first game is a nice, you know, weight off my shoulders. And it's a sigh of relief because I've been just kind of harping on the fact that, like, I don't want to do the same thing that I did last time. And the fact that they're jumping from place to place around America to track down dinosaurs and to contain them and get them saved is pretty interesting to me. And I think this game has been, you know, as everything we've seen in these images here, it's beautiful. Like this shot, which I'm not going to click on, but like down below there, you can see the brachiosaurs just herding off in front of some mountains. That's impressive. So I love the fact that we're going to go jumping all over the place not necessarily in a park building fashion, which is very cool because that just kind of sounds boring to me. If we're going to build parks, I want to build parks all out. But save that for the sandbox mode or for what if or something like that. I like that as an idea instead of I like what they're doing. What we see here, it's just like these base of operations set up all over the country. I think that's pretty cool.
Giles Dewar, Isaac Clement, Cabot Finch, and George Lambert. These characters will provide support and guide the player towards success.
The player's role in campaign mode is very different to the other modes that we have in the game. Instead of focusing on building theme parks and using the dinosaurs to make as much money as possible, they're now dealing with the dinosaurs that are in the wild across the United States. This involves capturing them and then safely containing them in facilities that the player has built. Hello, my name's Adam Woods, and I'm the executive producer on Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Hey, Adam.
As you can imagine, the player will face a number of challenges. The dangerous dinosaurs are just the beginning. They will be facing calamities, snowstorms, sandstorms. We are also introducing a number of new injuries and illnesses that can affect the well-being of the dinosaurs, and these will be another obstacle that the player will have to face.
This is completely uncharted territory. They're away from the confines of tropical islands, away from the Jurassic World
love
gauge.
This shot,
this is
by the way.
completely
Oh, man.
new,
Oh,
it's bigger, and it's more challenging for the player.
It's just like, this is incredible. Like, I know it's a very simple thing, but even if it was the same kind of game, which, for a lot of it is, but like there's a lot of big differences. But like having a scenario where you're in the snow and you're tracking down dinosaurs in a snowy area is just really, really cool. And we know that that's going to be a big part of Dominion, right? It's going to play into that movie heavily. It's brand new. We are so used to seeing these dinosaurs on jungle backdrops. That's what we're used to. This is all we've ever seen outside of like San Diego, so to have them in a jungle is out of the jungle is pretty awesome. But yeah, let's see. Play it.
Chaos Theory mode allows players to
look at that. Look how good this looks. So good. So here's San Diego, and this is an interesting one because I remember when the original trailer popped up that included the San Diego bits. You see that the back of the facility is just wide open, and there was nothing containing it in the back. But here you can actually see that the fence links up to the facility there. So actually, it's basically just like a focal point of this paddock. So it seems like basically I would, if I'm playing this game, I would assume that I'm going to put like feeders and stuff in there, and this is basically the viewing platform that we would have like we had in the previous game, where you set up all your little, you got a few options. You got your towers, you got your the more like the flatter one that's like 2 levels, and like gyrospheres and stuff like that. But this is like a much bigger viewing area. That's what it looks like to me. So yeah, I dig it. I think that's pretty cool to actually link it up to an existing paddock. I mean, that's not really how it was in the film. I think I have a picture. Yeah, I don't know. It's not worth looking up right now. But yeah, I think it was a fully contained arena in the film, but this is pretty cool too. So you can also see that there are other paddocks there. So it's not just like, when I'm watching The Lost World, I'm like, okay, that is the facility. Like, that's it. Like, what is, it's just a one dino arena, like at a time. I've always assumed that like, hey, we're going to store our dinosaurs down below or something like that, and then elevator them up to a platform where they can evacuate the elevator and go out into like an arena setting, and then they'll herd them back in and then put them back down, and then another one will come up. So it's like they'll constantly fluctuate all these different dinosaurs in. But actually, and I know concept art has shown this too and stuff, but you actually have like paddocks outside of the area as well. So that's basically just a viewing area. So I think that's pretty cool. Look, you can actually see over here, which I think it does show later on. But there's the Ford Explorers you can see touring over there, and there's just different paddocks all around the place. So that's pretty cool.
To be a part of the Jurassic World franchise, alternate timelines explore how key events could have panned out differently now that the player is in a decisive role.
The players will experience a what-if scenario from each of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. They'll be in charge of either building a theme park or a facility based on that movie. For example, in the Lost World Jurassic Park scenario, they're going to...
Look at that. I got to pause that right there. That is like... This game, this mode specifically, it's a dream come true. How often when you're watching The Lost World and you see that facility in model form and images and stuff like that, and then of course you visit it at the end of the film. I know I did this, but I always imagined what that would have been like as an operating facility, like a real working facility. And this is it. You're actually playing in the outskirts, I guess, of San Diego. So that's pretty cool. San Diego's like off in the background, it looks like. And you actually have Jurassic Park era vehicles. I don't know when this is set. Like, since this is chaos mode, are we or chaos theory, whatever, are we assuming that Ludlow succeeded and like that whole operation went smoothly and because that's what I believe. I mean, unless this is like pre-Nublar, and that could be a thing too. This could be pre-Nublar and this park worked initially. That could be as well. But either way, whether this is pre-Nublar or post, the Lost World, and Ludlow succeeded, got the dinosaurs off of the island, that's a pretty cool idea too. Yeah, and it's just beautiful. Like, everything about this is amazing, and I can't wait. It's literally, I'm not like, I don't think I'm overstating it. This is a dream come true to actually have, an operating San Diego facility. It's just too cool.
They're going to try to succeed where others have failed and bring the San Diego part to the masses.
Chaos Theory mode for us was really exciting as developers because it was a great opportunity for us to go back to movies that we've really loved and grown up with, and provide players that opportunity to go and experience these what-if scenarios and wish fulfillment of being in those moments from the films as they have their own impact.
So I want to go back here just a second. We see they're talking about the what-if scenarios, right? And we're seeing an island here. So I don't know, is this... It looks like it could be like a Nublar, right? I don't see the fence or the gate or anything. Oh, there's a gate right there. I don't know if it says Isla Nublar, but this could be... What was I going to say? Oh yeah. I always wondered back when we saw the original trailers and images and stuff like that. I was like, well, how does the Innovation Center fit into this game? If we're talking about this game being in a world where, the dinosaurs are out in the wild and all that stuff, I'm like, I don't want to be building the Innovation Center again, like at like, in like the Midwest. Like, I don't want that to be a thing at my facility where dinosaurs are being captured from the wild and being put into this facility. I don't need an Innovation Center. But to know that what if scenarios exist and you could place an Innovation Center in your Jurassic World era park, that makes a whole lot more sense to me. So I hope that's really like the only area we see it. I don't want to be able to I don't even want to be able to mix and match and put this in like where, in chaos theory mode in like San Diego. I don't want that to be a thing. Hopefully not. And if it is, I just probably won't put it there. But yeah, so hopefully it's just like a Jurassic World what if scenario.
Those moments from the films as they have their own impact in what's happening in these scenarios.
Across both campaign and chaos theory mode, the player is going to be encountering a large number of prehistoric species. We've worked really hard to ensure the species are authentic to the level or scenario that you're in. For example, you'll be coming face to face with the Indominus Rex in the Jurassic World chaos theory scenario. I'm really looking forward to the players enjoying these up-close moments with the dinosaurs from the ground level. It really gives a unique and different perspective to the scenarios.
I'm very excited to see players experience these new original stories that we've crafted in campaign mode and chaos theory mode, seeing dinosaurs in new locations as they work alongside these characters and the stories that we've created.
I'm really excited for players to experience these iconic characters in our original story.
I'm really excited about the players experiencing the chaos theory scenarios and making these iconic movie moments their own, whether it's bringing Jurassic Park San Diego to the masses or building their own version of Jurassic World.
Jurassic World stories are so iconic, and we are very proud to have created our own to be part of that, and we're looking forward to sharing that with you.
All right, there you go. Coming November 9th. So I have been ignoring the chat this whole time. I'm sure you guys have been talking about some stuff here. So let's go through and see what's going on here. Let me bring that music back. Let's get that lo-fi going. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go with this. I think, let me see, I might have actually, I'll go to this one first, but I think I went too far down. Carl Archimelian says, I wonder why Claire would be included in the hands-on containment of now wild dinosaurs when that was not her job in Jurassic World. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think her job in Jurassic World matters, right? I don't think that matters, because you know her job from Jurassic World to Fallen Kingdom changed drastically, and in Fallen Kingdom, her job lines up with what you would see here. How she's part of the team that's trying to track down these dinosaurs and bring them back to a safe environment. In my mind, for Dominion, if we're talking about Dominion and how Claire kind of fits into that, and I've said this time and time again on the live streams and the podcast, but I do feel like there's no reason for anybody to know that Claire was involved in the Fallen Kingdom plot. Like if you're looking at it like, hey, the cops showed up and noticed that dinosaurs escaped from this place. I don't think that anybody would find out that Claire and Owen were there, because you're talking about a facility that had a bunch of nefarious people illegally trying to buy dinosaurs, just a bunch of bad guys. I don't think anybody's gonna rat out if any authorities caught somebody. I don't think they're gonna be like, well, I know that these people, Claire and Owen, were there. Definitely. Like they're not going to rat them out. I think Claire and Owen got off on their own and they left, and nobody knows the wiser. And then the DPG can continue on with their business. So I think the DPG probably evolved into, well, how can we save these dinosaurs from Nublar, to how can we save these dinosaurs, from humans in the wild? How can we do that? And I think that's probably the natural progression of why Claire is included in these tasks. And I think it works well for her. I think, logistically speaking, she would be a great person to have that. She operated a working theme park. She can handle this. Let me go back here. Yeah, I wonder if they'll have main villains try to sabotage everything in this mode. Probably. I would assume so. I mean, we already saw that, poachers are in the mix in this story somehow. So if there's people that are going to sabotage it, probably going to be poachers, right? Like poachers have taken down your power grid, and dinosaurs are now getting loose. They also did mention that, storms are going to be happening often. So I assume that it's going to, maybe instead of villains, it would be just a storm took down your fences and storms, knocked out your power. But, I don't think, and I don't think poachers or somebody like Biosyn is out of the mix. I think, excuse me, I think, all those options are definitely on the table. Let's see. New disasters might be worse than tornadoes. So basically we had like hurricanes that blew through the island, and it involved like tornadoes kind of whipping through. I think there definitely could be, if you're going all over the place, in America. I don't know how widespread it's going to get, because it looks like we're only getting like mountains or desert. Like, I don't know what's in between there. Are we getting like the East Coast? Anything like that? I don't know. But, dinosaurs on a beach? I know maybe San Diego. I don't know. But, if you're talking about San Diego and the West Coast, maybe earthquakes are involved. That could be crazy. And we see sandstorms, so that'll be a new interesting way. Like, you won't be able to send up your helicopters and things like, I don't know, maybe that's something they'll play into it. And we see a lot of snow, so I'm assuming snowstorms and things like that. But like, I hope they don't just like throw I almost said a volcano, throw a tornado into the mix for all these scenarios. Like, I guess they could for a sandstorm. It's like, oh, there's a sand tornado. I don't know. But, yeah. You wish the game will be free. I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Come on, Frontier. What are you doing making us pay for it? I agree, though. That would be nice. Oh my gosh, I just skipped ahead. Is everyone who works on Jurassic British? No, not everybody. But everybody that works on this game is, for sure, because it is a UK company. So, yeah. So they are all British. I assume. I think so, at least. I don't remember if there was any American accents. Yeah, hey, yo, Californians. I don't know why I said it like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He does live in California, so that kind of works. Let's see. Let's keep going here. My brain's a little loopy, right? Because I'm under the weather. So the only thing I could come up with while saying Californians was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Californians. Yes, look out. Look out, the dinosaurs are coming. For California from San Diego. If you're watching from Twitter, this is what you usually get, is me doing a voice. I didn't even know what I was. What are you commenting on? Like, because I just said this. I wish I was a voice actor. Somebody cast me in a voice acting thing. Let's see. Begs the question: would Claire and Owen come forward about the events of Fallen Kingdom? See, I'm sure you're going off of what I just said, but I don't think so. I really don't think they would. I think that they would be trying to lay low. They're trying to lay low, and everybody knows that the DPG wanted the dinosaurs off the island. So I feel like a lot of people would be looking at them and being like, well, do you know anything about this? No? What? happened? What do you mean? What happened? Well, dinosaurs got loose in California. What? You've never heard of this, Claire? No. What about you, Owen? What? I'm sorry. I was thinking about raptors, and no, I don't think they would be like willing to testify to any degree about the fact that they were there. I just think that they're just going to try to stay low, stay under the wire, and just like, you know, like I said, there's no reason for anybody to believe that they were there. I don't think that they announced like, hey, we're going to be working with the Mills people, you know, Mills and the Lockwood Foundation or something like that. You know, I don't think that would have been publicized. I think it was just like, hey, could you come on this mission with us, and you just keep it a little secret, and we'll come out there and help you. But I don't think anybody else would really know. So hopefully that's where it comes in Dominion. It's like, you know, Owen's like, we've been lying low for, I mean, I got to look at my watch. It was going to be 3 years, but now it's 4 years. And we have this child with us. And I mean, I don't know how to explain it still. I still don't know. What am I supposed to tell people? What am I supposed to tell people? She's a clone? I mean, that's probably more believable than, I mean, that's probably better than me saying I kidnapped her and stole her. You know? Because I'm sure the person who spent her entire life with her, what's her name? I don't even think I got her name. What's her name? I'm trying to think of this lady's name. Iris. Iris would probably want to live with her. Is she still alive? I don't even know. But yeah. Good night, Isa Sorna Communications. Thanks for joining us, as always. Wait, so Claire, you want to adopt this girl? Where are we gonna tell everybody that we found her? She just showed up on our doorstep like a baby, and now she's 14? Yeah, that's what we're gonna tell them? Okay, all right, I guess that works. I don't know. I like the logistics of it don't really make a lot of sense, but technically, I don't think anybody knows Maisie exists, right? But I could see a scenario where, I don't know why I'm looking over there. I've been like looking over there. When I do these voices, I gotta like get over here and like pretend that I'm not doing this live on the internet. But I think Maisie, I don't think anybody really knew she existed outside of Lockwood, Iris, Mills, and maybe, you know, some other people here and there, but I don't think it was like a publicized thing. I don't think she went to school and like had friends. I think she was stuck in this mansion her whole life. That's the way I see it, at least. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed something. But the way I see it is like, the only way that it would come under question is if somebody's like, do you have an ID for that girl? And this person is a clone of Owen. So for some reason, he has the same voice. I don't know. And then Owen's like, no, I don't have an ID. And the guy's like, you don't have an ID for that girl? I don't know what's happening anymore. But yeah, anyway. I don't know. Yeah, the adoption process is not easy, so I'm wondering how they could prove they know her. She was my aunt's cousin. Does that make sense? I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, she would if she got like found out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, she definitely would. And then I don't even think anybody would question like where she came from, really. It would just be like, you know, no, I don't think she would ever be like, I'm a clone, just like them dinosaurs. I don't know why she turned out to be from like Alabama or something. But I got a cold. I can't really do all these voices the way I usually do, right? Why am I talking about this still? I have no idea. Anyway, very excited for Jurassic World Evolution 2. It's coming up fast. It's it's like a month and a few days away. That's pretty crazy. So it's almost here, and I think it looks to be different enough. It looks to have a lot of really interesting scenarios, and I think overall it's going to be cool. I'm definitely into it. I want to shout out to Rebel Commander 7 Star Wars Jurassic here. Didn't they adopt Maisie or whoever the girl is? No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we didn't see that. They, in Fallen Kingdom, they basically escaped with her. And you then see the three of them just driving away in flannels. So they're all like this. They're like, I got to get out of here in my car. And then also Claire's sitting over there like, oh, and drive faster. And then Maisie's in the background like, I'm alive. And that's it. Yeah, so... So I appreciate it for the super chat. Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, I would assume that they would like to adopt Maisie, but I don't think that process is going to be as easy as they think, unless they're just like, hey, could we get some person to get some papers for this girl so that we can adopt her to make it legit, but we're not going to say where she really came from, but it's like a whole thing where they have to definitely like fake some documents. But I think that could be an interesting plot in this movie if they did have somebody question that, and it would be brutal, So thank you again. But I think that probably does it, right? I think we talked about most of the big hitter points here. The fish and wildlife, so that's good. The Indominus Rex is back. San Diego is operational. There's a lot of really cool things in here. I'm interested to see how the fish and wildlife becomes this bigger thing. Like, it seems like we'll probably get something like that in Dominion. We've seen badges on on helicopters and jackets and things like that could pertain to that same agency. And it'll be interesting to see how all these people are working together and hopefully that, it sounds like this could tie into Dominion pretty well, that this is like what we'll be seeing in Dominion. I don't know. Maybe this is like the precursor to what we'll see in Dominion, It could be a nice bridge, in a way. Like, this stuff has been happening over the past 4 years, and then we pick up into Dominion and see where things leave off. That could be interesting. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on to our next topic here. Let's see here. Do I have any banners that could... Yeah, let's go with this. Mattel's latest! So I'm going to go big widescreen here. Let's go all out. All right, so I don't think I need these on anymore. But this is nice hearing the music, though. All right, so today, finally, these show. The young T-Rex. I love it. I do like it. I like it, I gotta say. And then the compies as well. So there's 3 of them, and I've only got the one here. But so on these, the jaws move just like that. Arms don't move, but the legs move. You want to see how the legs move? Watch this. Oh, they just pop right off all the time. So that, I don't know if that's been an issue for everybody out there. If you've gotten one, please let me know. But mine, all 3 of my compies, their legs popped off. At least one leg popped off of them. So it's an easy fix, and they pop right back on. It's really no problem, but it's just a weird thing. Like, why is this happening? But I do like them. I know this is not a perfect 1-for-1 of the compies, but like, it's fun. It's a nice little thing. You know, I never actually compared it to like a human. Let me see here. We got Owen. Let's take a look at Owen and his size. And we got a compy down here. I mean, it's not too bad. That's a good size. You know, maybe even a little bit smaller would have been good, but I think for you know, a little collector's piece, this is perfect. I dig this. I think this is cool. And it came with 3 of them. The other 2 are back on my shelf there. And then we also have the baby T-Rex, which has got a lot of articulation on it. It's pretty cool. And it's also got his bent tail. I think everybody has the bent tail. As far as I've seen, it looks like it's a common feature because of the way it was packaged. You could probably heat that up and fix that, but I don't care. And it comes with 2 features here. It comes with the cast for the leg, which you can pop on and off, and also the muzzle, which I like that. I dig that because I don't want to hear that, you know, that super annoying sound from the Lost World. But there you go. But yeah, I like to use all the features that it comes with. So I'm gonna keep it on my shelf just like this because that's what I like from the film. So I dig it though. I know the coloring on this one is pretty wild, and I know a lot of people aren't really into these things, but I think they're both pretty cool. I dig them, and I know, you know, I know the support and love for the Amber collection has been dwindling a lot, but I'm still into it. I'm still down for it. I still think it's pretty good, and I do know that, like, I can also say that, you know. Excuse me, hold on. Damn it. Sorry, I missed the mute button for coughing. I know that there's room to say that things aren't great. Also, that, you know, things can be better. This is too wildly green. Like, that does not look like the Rex from the movies, from the Lost World. It does not look like, you know, this looks like whoa. Somehow I still caught it. This looks like what would be the Rex from Jurassic Park 3 as a baby. And I know, you know, some people like to say that it is, but this is not what we saw Nick Van Owen carrying around in the film. You know, this is not the thing, but I still dig it. I still think it's pretty cool. I think, you know, maybe they would have been a little bit better if they swapped the paint jobs, but even still, this, I feel like it should have been a little darker. But if you think about, I think, do I have it right here still? Hold on. So I also have this one. The one that came, it was like the legacy one, right? That came with the other Rex. It's kind of similar. I mean, like the color wise, this one's even lighter, but it's very similar paint schemes and stuff like that. How this has darker and that has darker pattern, but both of them are just too light. You know, it's just I don't know. It doesn't look anything like the original toy or the one from the film. So that's a bit of a bummer. But I do still dig the fact that we have this. I gotta say, I like all of the Amber collection outside of like Ian Malcolm. I think. I mean, I gotta look. Hold on. Yeah. I mean, I like them all. I do, again, like same thing with the Tiger Stripe Raptor. I mean, I don't like that it is the Tiger Stripe Raptor, but I think it does look pretty cool, like on its own. And you know, the same thing with some of the Raptors, like the Raptor Squad Raptors don't really look like the film counterparts, but they are pretty awesome. They've done a decent job with the Jurassic Park people, the characters. I know Ray Arnold doesn't, I'm pointing over there because that's where they are. Ray Arnold doesn't exactly look like his, you know, film counterpart. And yes, they could have done better because some of the Marvel figures really capture that likeness of Samuel L. Jackson, but Mattel has yet to do that. And same thing with Malcolm. I just don't think they're capturing that Ian Malcolm look. It just doesn't look like Jeff Goldblum to me. So Do we have an answer on why red echo is a thing? I mean, no. No. I mean, it's just really... I don't know why it would have even changed. You know, like, because it definitely changed. I'm trying to think of... I'm trying to think when did it officially change? Was it around Camp Cretaceous? Because I think Camp Cretaceous really defined the new model for a little bit of time, and then they've reverted again. So now, like, you see the Gujitsu, those like rubber stretchy velociraptors out there, and they've adopted more of, like, I don't know, like, it kind of looks more so like this, to be honest, like, than anything else, I think. But you know, and I think the Raptor squad in the standard line, that 4-pack, it's also red or so, right? But yeah, I don't know where that came from, and it doesn't really make sense. Like, why would their style guide look that way? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know how it got so far from what it really looks like. Yeah. No, but I know that it changed for that, but I'm also trying to think of if it changed from other colors in before Camp Cretaceous. But I know Camp Cretaceous is the catalyst for it looking red. But as far as, like, always changing color, because it's changed colors for years. I think I still have this picture. Yeah, I do. Here, let's take a look. This is a picture that I've had for a while. Yeah. Well, there's a Camp Cretaceous one. So even, all right. So this is a pretty good look at it, right? Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah, I was right. It does look like the baby Rex. This one all the way in the top left, because that was Echo as well. And that, in what world was that Echo? So in the film, you can see the film on the bottom right. I've referred to this graphic so many times, but I got to add to it still because there's more renders now. But we've got the film one down there, which is, you know, it's very bright and it's very, you know, you can see the distinctions there with, like, the tealish green blue on the brown. So it does look brown. And then you can see this mock-up up here in the middle top that has all the raptors, and Echo does look brown on brown. Like, that Echo up there does look like what they made. It looks exactly what the Amber collection looks like. And it kind of looks like it could be the Camp Cretaceous model. Now, this Camp Cretaceous model over here on the top right, I don't even know what's happening there. I don't know. At least the Evolution, Jurassic World Evolution got it right, which you can see it should be the one closest to the camera, looking straight at us. That is right. And it kind of, you know, it kind of looks like it could be that top left, just more realistic. So I don't know. I don't know how we got here, though. I don't know at what point did they, you know, what was the timeline? Because the film came out 2015, and then 2018 Evolution came out, and Evolution got it right. But at what point did it go wrong? Even though this image in the top middle was from like 2015 or so, that Echo looks like the Echo we have now. So I don't know. I have no idea. I'm trying to look up the Raptor squad now. Yeah. Oy. So here, let me open this up. All right, just give me a second. So, all right, so here is, let's go to this, and here is the latest one, which is, this is a little, you know, what do you call it? I don't know. But yeah, it's red and like black. Like, what is happening there? Like, how did it get there? And this is the most recent iteration. I don't get it. Like, what? And, you know, here is... that's a tiny picture. I like this. Going back even even farther, let's go back to the Hasbro days. There you go. There you go. Those are the Hasbro days. What was Echo doing back then? I don't know. We also have this, which is from the Fallen Kingdom days, which is a nice representation. Let me throw this in here. Look at that. Now that looks like the one that we see from the film. You know, that looks like this one in the bottom right. Bottom right. Just, you know, older. What else do we have? Let's see. See any other iterations? Yeah, well, we have excuse me. We have the Amber Collection one, which, let me see if I can get a good picture of this. All right. Now let's go with yeah, here we go. All right, so this is the Amber Collection Echo, which, like, it's just crazy that we went from this, like, the films get it right, and the style guide got it right. So how did the style guide get from this to this? How? Why was Camp Cretaceous changing it? We do have this, and it is very small, but you know, there is this Camp Cretaceous render here of what we see in this toy form. So it does look like this, like they're getting it right for the most part. I mean, Camp Cretaceous is like, hey, this is what Echo looks like, and it looks like this. And not that, and oh, not that. And this, I mean, this is just like a brutal take on whatever this is. I don't know why they just went so red. But here we are. Let me see if I can find the Velocicoaster one real quick. It's gonna be hard. Let's see. Not seeing anything right off the top here. Anyway, the one that's on the Velocicoaster attraction looks more like the original concept, but just kind of a little different, but not too drastically. Now, none of these images are good enough to see. I know there was a good image at some point, but yeah, you can kind of see it in this one, I guess. Let's see. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to bring it back over here. Let's refocus here for a second. But yeah, let's see. We got some comments here. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, that would be interesting if any of these toys will cameo in Dominion. I feel like, yeah, maybe that would be cool. I like that there is, and I don't even know what it is. It might be like a Chap May or something like that, but there's like a T-Rex in... is it in Fallen Kingdom, maybe? Where the scene where the compy is in there and it pops out. I think it might be that. It's like a red Rex kind of thing, red and black. But we have that here at our house. And then I was actually just watching what do you call it? Blanking on the name of it. Quiet Place 2. You're watching A Quiet Place 2, and there's a scene where a dinosaur toy shows up, and I was like, oh my god, somebody just gave that same dinosaur toy to us 2 days ago, right before we watched the movie. And I was like, that's kind of weird. That's weird. Very strange, because of the scenario that it shows up in. But I was like, that is such an odd dinosaur toy. Why were we given that one 2 days ago? And then it shows up in, A Quiet Place 2. It's so crazy. Yeah, I know that middle one is a fan creation, but it really showcased the colors, and except for which I don't know where that model came from, where they created that look for Echo there, but everything else looked pretty good. I'm just not sure where that Echo version came from, and that's a problem. Like, maybe that ended up in a style guide somewhere. Like, somebody's like, yeah, that's what it looked like, but I don't know. I don't know why either. No, everybody says that, and I don't get it. No offense, but I've heard people start to get like very panicked about like how Mattel is getting to the age of Hasbro, and I don't see it. I've never seen that at all. I don't see anything from any of the figures that I have anywhere that resemble the days of Hasbro. So I think I'm pretty good. All the Hasbro stuff that I have is just in a box in another room, except for I have one right there and one right there, and there are two that I thought were okay enough to put on a shelf. One is the Stegoceratops. I thought that was interesting enough to put on a shelf, and the other one over here on a shelf is the Explorer paint job on the Velociraptor. I don't really like that style of raptor, but I think it looks cool on there. I think it looks pretty good. Well, let me tell you, they're not going to have much issue with that. I don't know why they need to dilute the market with red velociraptors when they're going to have plenty to sell. It does look like she's just burnt to a crisp. Yeah, it kind of like, it looks like a Carnotaurus color scheme or something like that. Thank you, Jurassic. I'm sorry, wrong time period. Cretaceous, Dave. For Echo's Identity Crisis Therapy Fund. Yeah, you know, I need like a fund set up to make my image bigger now, to figure out how to like import more variations into this, you know, this one image that I made like a year ago. But I thank you so much. As always, you're awesome. Keep it going. Keep doing all the great stuff you're doing. But yeah, thank you so much. It's movie accurate to a point. I mean, it does look like kind of like they exaggerated some of the features from the movie version. It looks a little bit different, and I don't know why. What's up, Jurassic Dave? Hey. Ah, yes. There's been a lot of dinosaur toys in these movies. And even if you see like other toys in other movies, like you see like, I think like the Red Rex has popped up in movies before and stuff like that. So yeah, it's always fun when you see like a Jurassic toy in a movie or like a poster or something like that. I know they pop up every now and then. What did I see? I forget what it was, but I saw like Super Colossal in some movie or something once. Are there any more topics? Yes, I think. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to our final topic here for the day before we get out of here. Let's see. Let me write up this banner. All right. Add this banner. Camp Cretaceous turns 1. Happy birthday, Camp Cretaceous. So yes, Camp Cretaceous, I think it was like over the weekend or just, in the past few days, finally turned 1. That's crazy. Like, I can't believe we already have 3 seasons before this show turned 1. Before season 1 became a 1-year-old. I can't believe we've hit 3 seasons and we're verging on a 4th in the next few months here. And that's awesome. I think that's really, really incredible. And I wanted to talk to you guys about, like, what do you think the legacy of the show will be? Have you liked it all so far? Do you think it's important? Do you think it's interesting enough? Is there something that you would like to see? I just want to know. I just want to have a general conversation about Camp Cretaceous. I know we talk about it, kind of often on here, and recently we've been focusing on where are we going in season 4, what's happening in season 4. Will we see Sorna? But I want to kind of talk around that, since that's been a topic we've discussed a lot. But like, how important do you think this show will be when all is said and done? Let's if we want to talk about the future, I want to talk about like how do we think that tying into Dominion will ultimately matter? Do you think that that's, if it does tie in, and we've heard that there should be some ties to Dominion, do you think it's something that actually matters, or is it just them saying, yeah, it's going to tie into the future of the franchise just to make people watch or to keep people interested? Do you think it really matters? But overall, just what are your thoughts on Camp Cretaceous? Do you think it has value? Do you think it's going to have a lasting legacy here for Jurassic fans? Because I do. I think this show's been great. I think it's been really, really fun. It's given us a lot of details that connect dots and stuff like that. And I think, sure, it would be nice to see the island from what we've seen so far with Isla Nublar. It's been very hit or miss in terms of what we've seen. Some areas are fleshed out and others are not. It's just like, I think it was season 3, right? The high rise apartment complex that was literally just in the middle of a jungle with a dirt path leading to it. Like stuff like that. I was like, okay, well, I don't know if I believe that per se, but it's cool. I just would have liked to seen like a pool or some cement or something like official that made it feel real, not just like a thing that they plopped into a forest just because, they made it cheap just to plop in there. But so things like that, I think they could have done better. But I've really dug how important the show has felt and how it really connects dots and how they've taken a lot of chances with this show to connect with viewers. And what they did in season 3, introducing the Scorpius Rex and what they did to the visitor center and everything. It's crazy how we've gotten here. And I really, really dig it. And I love the chances that they've taken. And yeah, I hope moving forward, I really hope that whatever does connect, I hope it does have an actual legit connection. I know, for instance, like I said, I wasn't really going to talk about like where season 4 will go, but if season 4 does go to Sorna, I hope that's not like the connection. Is that like season 4 goes to Sorna and then maybe Sorna shows up in Dominion and that's the connection, is like Sorna, like just the word and the place. Like I hope there's more to it. I hope that there's like something that shows up in season 4 shows up in the movie, or something that we've seen, like the Scorpius Rex. If the Scorpius Rex or that word or something about it shows up in the film, that'd be amazing. That would be cool. I want like a legit connection, not just like a hey, sure, that was a connection, right? You saw what we were, or like, I've made reference to like a potential 5th season or something that shows the kids in our timeline with Dominion, where like we've kind of caught up to that, or we've caught up to Fallen Kingdom, and we see these kids notice a news, somebody with a cell phone footage, and they see it on the news, and they see on the cell phone footage that Bumpy walked by a car, and they're like, oh my God, we got to go track down Bumpy. And then they set off on a fun adventure into the Northwest to go track down the dinosaur that they think is Bumpy. And that would be really cool. And if something like that ties into Dominion with like, maybe Claire and the DPG found out about these kids and want to help them or something. I don't know. I don't know how deep they're going to get, but I really hope it's a legitimate connection. Yeah, and I hope it's not like that. That's exactly what I mean. Like here's the thing, actually. Let me speak about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a second here. So that was a show that I loved. I loved so much when that thing came out. Oh, actually, when it came out, I was like, I don't know. It feels like a loose connection here, and I'm not really digging what they're doing. But then we got some cameos and stuff like that. And then I think around season 2 to 3, somewhere in that range, the show really took off. And I was like, oh, wow, they're doing some really cool things here. I'm really digging this show. And then I don't know when it was, but like season 5 to 6, somewhere in that range of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I was like, I don't know what they're doing with the space and all this stuff. I'm so confused. I don't get it anymore. It doesn't connect to anything at all outside of like, hey, the movies did Guardians of the Galaxy and there's aliens and there's planets, so let's do that in the show too. But like, I kind of fell off the train, and I'll be honest, I stopped watching for a little while, and I just picked it up like 2 weeks ago, and I finished season 6 and 7, and I was like, oh my god, season 6 and 7 were awesome. I really dug those seasons. I thought they were really, really good. But, you know, the fact that it doesn't necessarily connect to anything after that, it really feels like it's its own thing. But at the same time, right now, I have a lot of hope for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that, like, the multiverse exists and that maybe this is just a story that took place on a different timeline. At some point, what if the timeline split apart and this show matters, you know, like at some point? So, that's not the case for Jurassic, though. There is no what if scenario. It's either real or it's not. Like, it really matters or it doesn't. So I hope it doesn't become trapped, like you're saying, in that limbo of, like, do we care about it or not? You know? You also said it rocks. JP TV series felt long overdue. Jurassic fan says, Camp Cretaceous will always be a huge part of my life. It's the reason I collect. Me and my friend one day saw the trailer, and I'd already had some figures from Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, but I went to the store. Yeah. And you bought the Epic Rex, and then you got more and more. Yeah, and exactly. Tally wants to see how it will set up Dominion. You think it'll be a much bigger Link? I hope so. I really hope so. I don't have a lot of faith that it will be, but I really want it to be. And you said it a lot over the last year. I think this is to Jurassic what the original Clone Wars was to Star Wars. It filled in so much between episode 2 and 3. Yeah. So when you say original, do you mean like the Genndy Tartakovsky stuff, or do you mean the Clone Wars full 7-season TV show? Because like I think that TV show, the full 7 seasons, really is some of the best Star Wars out there, and it created such a wealth of content to mine from, and it really helped bridge gaps and to, like, I think it made the prequels way better, to be honest. So that's kind of what I want from like season 4 is I want, if they do go to Sorna, I want them to make Jurassic Park 3 and even The Lost World better. I really want them to do that. All out of coffee. All right, move over to water. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Netflix shows are completely separate now, but with the what's falling? Stuff's falling in my office. I don't see what it was. I don't know. But with the multiverse appearing here, it makes everything matter in a different way. Like those Netflix shows maybe happen somewhere, and they're like, well, we're gonna take some of these pieces from Netflix maybe in our movies, but not all of them, because we don't want to mine from that multiverse. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'll be honest. I didn't even finish watching Daredevil. Yeah, and it was kind of like that same time period where like I was like, let me stop watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because like stuff didn't feel like it mattered. And that's why I always preach about that here on the live streams and the podcast, that I want this Jurassic lore to matter, because if it doesn't, to me, if I just stop watching things, because like if it doesn't feel like it matters, then what's the point? You know, like I know the point is just to have fun and to take in things, but like there's also 19 other shows that I could be watching at that same time where they could also bring me just as much joy. But I want to watch something that matters. And if something doesn't matter, it gives me less incentive to actually watch it. So, but I am hyped for Venom. Let There Be Carnage. I'm hyped for that. Yeah, this is a fun point here. What if the connection is about Brooklyn making Dr. Wu reevaluate his work after the Indoraptor incident? And so he changes his mind about his work. Could this be his character arc? I don't know. I mean, the arcs for some of these characters doesn't necessarily work in the Jurassic franchise very well. You know, we've talked a lot about how Claire's arc isn't necessarily one of the greatest arcs. It doesn't really make a ton of sense how she ended up to be the person that she is in Fallen Kingdom. And Dr. Wu, if you consider his arc here, he definitely was considering things in Camp Cretaceous when he's talking to Brooklyn, and she definitely looked like she was starting to like make him think. But from that point on, he did go ahead and make the Indoraptor, and he did, I don't know, he didn't necessarily question that. He was still screaming about it behind the scenes with Mills and getting frantic and upset about things all the time. And I don't think that he looked very confident and cocky, you know, during the whole auction thing. He definitely had, you know, one little moment where he's like, no, we can't sell this thing. This is not for sale just yet. It's the base model. It's not ready. So like, I don't think that anything ultimately changed his mind. It seems like they're making it plausible that his mind could be changed. But I don't know if Brooklyn had much to do with it. If he changes his mind for some reason in Dominion, I can't say that Brooklyn helped with that. Because in the middle, he didn't change his mind. He still created the Indoraptor. And he was at an illegal auction, and he was still willing to make dinosaurs. Like, it doesn't work for me, that connection. If like Brooklyn shows up in Dominion and is like, you remember that talk we had? Then yeah, that's a great connection. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah. Okay, so you mean the original one, yeah. So, but I actually that one's fine. I know a lot of people like that series more, but I like the overall series, like the film, the Clone Wars, and the digital, you know, animation. See, I could see Manticore tying into Dominion, but if Manticore ends up being Biosyn, I don't think Manticore is going to be like discussed in Dominion, but I think if Manticore ends up not being Manticore but is actually Biosyn, then I think that could be a nice connection, but I don't know. Again, it's kind of like a weak connection because it's like, yeah, there's a company of Biosyn. And we saw them in season 4 or whatever. I don't know if they're even going to show up in season 4, but yeah. It felt great, and there were so many ways that show could have really capitalized, and the fact that there was like no tie-ins to like the snap and stuff like that, and at that point, like, it was just widely known that this show was not meant anymore to be canonical. At that point they had strayed themselves, and the film universe disconnected itself from them. But even at the end of the day, when the series was finished, I still felt like it could still work. I know there's a lot of mess in there probably, but I still think it could work canonically in a lot of sense. But yeah, I do wish it had a lot more connections, but gotta say, I really loved the final 2 seasons. That was pretty great. I would say that I'd go out on a limb and say the final 2 seasons for me are just as good as any of the other Marvel shows that have been on Disney Plus. I'll say it. I mean, I don't think he's like, the whole chaos happens and he's like, you know what? I should have listened to that little girl on the island that I saw for 5 minutes. Really should have. I don't know. I don't know that it's like she was really the catalyst for him changing his ways. I think if I had to say, maybe if there's a reason for Dr. Wu to change his ways, I think it would be if people are trying to tarnish his creations in a way, because it's all about vanity for him. I feel like it's about like, I did this and I made these beautiful creatures the way that they are. This is all me, but he bears no responsibility towards it. So like when things go awry, he doesn't necessarily feel bad about it, does he? Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't seem to care that people die because he still makes stuff. He still goes about his business. So he doesn't feel bad about people. But if people started killing his dinosaurs and mounting their heads on display, or, doing things like hunting them down and stuff like that, I think maybe he would see that it would be like a horror for him, maybe. But I don't know. I think like that could be something interesting if it's just like not the way that he wanted these things to be used, but I'm not sure. I say, other than seeing his creations murdering a ton of people, Wu won't change his mind because of a person. If he didn't listen to Ian, he's not going to listen to a 13-year-old girl. Yeah. I mean, back in Jurassic Park, he was just so cocky and sure about this project that like, I'm the scientist here. I made these things. I know what I'm talking about. So he wouldn't listen to Ian about that. And, you know, Mills is screaming at him in Fallen Kingdom. So you take it all the way to the farthest point, and Mills is screaming about him. And he's like, I am the scientist here. I know what I'm doing. You can't do this without the corresponding traits. You know, whatever he's screaming about. But like, I don't feel like he cares about people and stuff like that. So I think the vanity of like taking his creations and doing something against his intentions is maybe a decent idea. Yeah. Maybe it'll ring a bell later because of all these situations. I don't think so. I mean, look, his creations killed multiple people on Isla Nublar before Jurassic Park. You know, there was definitely deaths. We had Joffrey dying, and then the people came to visit. You know, the scientists, and you have Muldoon die. You have Ray Arnold die. You have Dennis Nedry die. You have Gennaro die. Is that it? I think so, right? And he doesn't care, right? Because then you read the DPG stuff, and he's like still wants to do things. He still wants to make these to do tests and stuff like that. And then, you know, then he comes back for Jurassic World, and you know, maybe somebody can, you know, if he had a conscience, maybe Masrani's like, look, we'll do it better this time. We'll actually make it real, and it'll be a legit place. John Hammond was, you know, off his rocker. He didn't know what he was doing. I'll give you a real place where you don't have to worry about all these things happening. Don't worry. Nobody else will die. I swear. And then he dies. Masrani. And then Hoskins, I guess, right? And then so many other people, you know, probably getting stabbed by pteranodons, and what's her name getting swallowed by a mosasaur. And so there's people dying left and right in Jurassic World, and he still doesn't care. So no bells have been rung at this point. You know, years have gone by, and not a bell in sight. So I don't know what bell needs to be rung. But like Cammy says here, if he didn't do it, other people would. Yeah. But that's the vanity in him. That's him being vain and saying like, I want to be the person to do this. I don't care whether people live or die. I want this for me. So I feel like a normal person would be like, no, I'm not, I can't go back to that world. The things that I made with my mind, I built these dinosaurs, and several people have died because of it. I don't know if I can go back to that. I feel like most people would probably stick with that, you know? I don't know. But yeah, that's, you know, in this scenario, of course he would know because he thinks he knows. But like, you wouldn't want somebody, any job, whatever the case is, if somebody comes up to you and says like, but yeah, isn't there an easier way to do this or better way? Are you sure you're doing this right? You're like, well, look, I know what I'm talking about. I do this every day for a living. I think I know. But sometimes you're just like blinded. You're too into it. You know, you're too in the weeds. You're too in the long grass to actually understand. Indiana Jones said it best, I think. You got to get out of the library. Yeah. Yeah, he knew it would be used as a weapon. He literally is creating the Indoraptor with these triggers, and signals and sensors basically built into this thing. There's no way that there's any remorse in him. The trank, what if he got tranked or whatever in Fallen Kingdom by Franklin, right? And he fell and hit his head or something, and he has amnesia now, and he the only thing he remembers is the science, but he doesn't remember that he's just a monster, So he actually comes back. He's like, I know how to build these things, but I want to do it for good. But should I? He comes back with a conscience, and I don't think so though. But I like your train of thought. That's an interesting idea. Maybe somebody he cares about is at risk. Somebody he cares about. I mean, that could be interesting to see. Somebody at risk, and then it totally changes his mind or whatever. I fully expect him to go out in this movie, and I feel like this will be his last film. I think it's about time. All these other villains and bad guys or whatever in the Jurassic franchise have seen their day come, and I think he will too in this movie. So I think there's going to be a scenario where if he sacrifices himself for somebody he knows or loves, and it just so happens to sacrifice for other people too, I could definitely see that happening. But I don't know. At this point, you can't put it back in the box, and all his work is out there. So he's going to have a small redemption of sorts. It's not going to be some grand redemption, I don't think. But I could see it being a reverse scenario that Maisie and Claire and Owen and all them faced in Fallen Kingdom with the red button. How do I save other people for something I need to do? Yeah, that's a good point. Did Wu create Maisie? I mean, I assume, right? I feel like he has to be the one. If there was somebody else that created Maisie, that would just be such a failure on the writing of these movies. He has to be the one to have done it. I don't want it to be like a Mills and a Lockwood scenario where it's oh, there's another guy who was also a partner, with John Hammond. I don't want there to be Dr. Wu's friend also who now works at Biosyn made, I think it has to be Wu. And that's a fair point, is maybe maybe we see this side to Wu where he was very friendly towards Maisie, and he cared for her. He sent her presents or something like that. He sent her Christmas presents every year and birthday presents, or I could see that being a thing where we see these little flashbacks and little bits of information that he is not just a monster, that he's more than that. So that could be interesting. He could be saving her. That's a fair point, because he ultimately would be her creation. So which creation does he care about the most? Where are all the family and friends of the JP characters? Just being ignored. and Tally's. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one because it moved. What has his family been doing all this time? I cannot imagine Dr. Wu even having a family. If he had anybody, I feel like he would have ignored them for his work, and he wouldn't have a family anymore. I don't know. Yeah, Ellie's son is all grown up now, so I think, I hope, and that's been a hope for mine for Dominion, is that they don't ignore her family. If they have other ideas for what happens with Ellie and Mark Degler and Grant, if they reverse the scenario, I hope they acknowledge that she does have a family and that Charlie is out there, and whatever that baby's name was, there was a baby. I hope they actually reference them. But yeah, are there other families? Do we know of other families? I don't think so. Claire has a family. She has, a sister and some nephews. But yeah, outside of that, we don't really have like a lot of families. Ian would be a good one to reference. I want to see like, I doubt he's still with Sarah, but like, I want to know what Sarah's up to and what Kelly's up to. But I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever do that. This movie doesn't have enough time. What if Owen's cut line about disliking humans is supposed to make him a parallel to Wu? Looking at Fallen Kingdom, he certainly is willing to break some spines. Yeah, he's only willing to break spines, if his spine is on the line. He does come from a military background, so he knows how to break some spines. I don't even know what line you're referring to, though. It's been a while since I've seen any deleted cut lines or anything like that. I don't know. I know somebody mentioned like why didn't the Indoraptor attack her? But I think it definitely tried. I think it definitely tried to attack her. But I do think that there was not necessarily just the Indoraptor, but I think there is supposed to be shown like a little link between her and these creatures. And which it's very subtle, but at the moment where she is rewatching some of Owen's videos that's in the lab at the basement of Lockwood Manor, she does kind of tilt her head like the raptors do, and it's very subtle, but like it's like she's following these commands as well. They're obviously trying to create a link there that she is connected to these things in some way, but I don't think it's like some like she has the ability to do things. I don't think that. I think it's just trying to show you the connection genetically speaking, but not like she has some special ability or anything like that. It's precarious to acknowledge because it comes packaged with an implication that Alan waited 20 years for Ellie to raise kids so he could avoid that himself. It's frustrating, I mean, the whole scenario is frustrating to me. If Alan, I don't know, like they need to explain it. in some way, because when I'm watching these movies, and just the movies, I'm seeing Alan's transformation from he doesn't want kids. You want one of those? They're noisy, they're messy, they're expensive, they smell, all of which are true. So he changes, and you see by the end of that film that he's adjusted and he cares. He cares for kids, and he doesn't think that they're just terrible creatures. And by the time Jurassic Park 3 comes along, he has a connection. He's playing with the kid. The first thing we see is he's playing with the kid, and they tear us apart by showing it's not his kid. But behind the scenes, maybe he still didn't care about raising a family, and that's why she did it with Mark. But it isn't explicitly told to us that he still didn't want a family or anything like that. He still doesn't want kids. So in my mind, I feel like he might be this guy since 1993, he kind of always wanted a family, but I don't know, maybe he didn't, maybe he never wanted a family. I just want it to be acknowledged in some way that maybe he didn't want that family, because I don't want to just feel bad about him missing out on 20 years of raising these kids. I wish he had his chance, but it doesn't seem like he'll get that. See, I think Wu's work that's on this drive could be a catalyst to him losing his doctorate. So if you notice, in Fallen Kingdom, he's no longer a doctor. He's just like Henry Wu. He's not. And I don't know. I think it says it on the bottom of the screen or something. It's mentioned somewhere. But I think that information could be a good way to take his doctorate away from him. So yeah. But I don't think he would be in jail already, by Fallen Kingdom. Oh, there you go. Cretaceous Dave right there. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. No! What are you doing? No! So what happened to Billy after he was rescued? I don't know. He just went about his merry business and just, maybe he was continuing to be a paleontologist, or maybe quit. I don't know. Who knows? But one thing that he never did was ever come back to a Jurassic film. I think he's going to be in the new Sopranos movie. So, yeah. But I think that's probably good enough. I did not expect to be under the weather and still go for 2 hours here. So, oh gosh. All right, let's do this. Let's take away this Camp Cretaceous turns 1. So anyway, we talked more about Dr. Wu here somehow, but congratulations to Camp Cretaceous. I can't believe we've gotten 3 seasons by the time this thing hit 1. So that's awesome. But anyway, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. It's been fun, as always. And hopefully, if anybody watched over on Twitter, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Probably broadcast over there from now on instead of Twitch. Yeah, anyway. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I always forget now to put up my live banner. There it is. Hey, you got to remind me next time, because I always forget to put that up. But anyway, it's been fun. Let me go ahead and overlay this for you guys. So please go to JurassicParkPodcast.com. You can find all of our articles, our episodes over there as well. Follow us on Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod, at Jurassic Park Podcast over on Instagram. Search for us on Facebook if you want to. I don't care. We're also on TikTok. But yeah, we do mostly the same stuff over there as we do on Instagram. So please download the podcast if you don't already. Subscribe. You can subscribe there on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all those places, Spotify. And please subscribe here on YouTube as well. We'd really, really appreciate it. And share it around to your friends while you're at it. That would be great. That would be awesome. But yeah, you can find us all over the place. Please subscribe. And of course, you can follow me. I am at Brad Jost on Twitter, wherever that is, right down here in the corner somewhere. I am at Brad Jost on Twitter. You can follow me there. I am also on a podcast called Grim Grinning Hosts, where we talk about theme parks. So please go follow that show as well. And I know we mentioned it before, but I do the Forcecast Live with Ryan over there every other Thursday. So we did it last Thursday, so not this Thursday, but next Thursday. Please check that out as well. But yeah, so I'm all over the place. Thank you all so much for watching. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night. Stay safe. Be kind to everybody. And as always, enjoy. Thank you.